Jai Hind everyone. I am Shraddha Srivastava, working as an assistant professor in IT department. So today we are going to learn about function in Python, how we use functions in Python. So what is the function? We all know what is the function. It is used for reusability, for reusability of the code anywhere, anytime. Okay, so what is the function? A function is a set of code that performs any given task, enabling the programmer to modularize the program. All variables created in function definitions are local variable. They are known only to the function if which they are declared. Means when we are creating any function, then we have a block of that function. So when we are creating any variable, so that variable is local to that function. That means outside of the function, that variable is not known to anyone. So here we are going to see how we are going to use Python functions, and what are the global and local variable. So first we see what is the syntax of the function. So here on the screen you can see we start with the def. Def is the we can start with the def. Def is the keyword that is the prefixed with any function name. So this is the name of the function and this is the arguments. Arguments are optional. It is needed by the program. If we need any argument, then we can pass it, and if we don't need, then it would be as a void, it would be empty. And after that we have a colon and then statement and then return value. Return value is also optional. If we have a argument and we need to return any value to the main function, then we use return, otherwise it is optional. So there are two types of function in Python: inbuilt function, that are predefined by the Python interpreter, like power, absolute, print, etc., and user defined function that is created by the user. It can have any name as per the user choice. So that is created by the user only. So two important thing to use function here in Python: definition of the function and calling of the function. We don't need to prototype for the function in Python. So we have to remember two things: definition of a function and calling the function. So here this is a simple example of a basic example of a Python function. Like here I have created a function with name f1, and here I am going to pass two parameter, name and age, and here print, and I am printing hi. So you can see here I am not passing any. Here you can see if I run it. So here you can see I am not passing any argument at the calling of the function f1. So here we will have error, because if we are passing any argument in the function, that means it is necessary to pass that value at the time of the calling. So here you can see I am passing the two argument, name and age, in the function, but at the calling of that function I am not passing any value. So here we will have some error. So what does it mean? It means if we are passing any argument, that means we should have the value of that argument. So it can be passed either via the calling of the function, where we are calling the function, and or with the default value. So types of argument: there are two types of argument. Number one is default argument. Function can be defined with default argument. If the values for the arguments are not supplied when the function is called, the default argument is used. What does it mean? Here I have taken one example where I am in the first case I am using the default value, and the second case I am using the passed value. So here I have created one function that is name of my function, and diff is the key value, and here you can see I have a default value India for the variable for the argument country. So country is equal to India. What does it mean? If at the time of calling function, if I am not passing any value, then this default value will be considered, and if we are passing any value at the time of calling, then this value will be replaced. So here print country. Okay, in first case my function USA, I am passing the value USA for the argument country. So this USA will be replaced by the India, and in second case in my function I am not passing any value for the country, then in that case default value will be used. So we can see here, if I run this, so we have a output in first case USA and second case India. Now in the second case also the same program. Now in the third case, here again I have created my function and I am passing two arguments, serial number and the country. So in the first case my function one and in, I am the, it is the normal positional argument where one will be the value of serial number and in will be the value of country, but by the default value I can change the order of the positional argument. In any case, if we are not having any default argument, then we cannot change the order of the argument, but in the case of default argument we can change the order of the argument. So you can see here in my function I have I am passing two arguments, serial number and country. So what should be the order of the value? First the serial number and second is the country. I cannot change the order in the case of positional, but in the case of default or keyword argument I can change the order also. So you can see in first case my function one is the serial number and second is the country in, and in the second case you can see here I have changed the order. So serial number is the second thing and country is the A, but still we will not get any error. So you can see by this, in the case of default argument we can change the order also. Now arbitrary argument. Arbitrary arguments are used when you want the function to take an unlimited number of argument. When you add an asterisk, it will receive a tuple of argument. So here this is the example of arbitrary argument. I am using the asterisk before the variable, that is a argument. I can take it any name, argument, variable, anything, but I have to place some asterisk. I have to place asterisk before that variable. So print argument, by this I can take any number of this argument. So here in this argument variable variable I have taken 4 value A, B, 1 and 2, and I can take number of value because it is a arbitrary argument. Now the third is keyword argument. Keyword argument, it acts as a default argument, but the definition of the keyword argument that we can change the order of the argument as already we have seen in default argument in our previous example. So what is a keyword argument? You can pass the argument in a non-positional manner using keyword argument. So that means in previous example also we were using the keyword argument where we were changing the positional order. So in the case of so how we implement the keyword argument? With the help of default argument. So with the default argument is the implementation of the keyword argument where we can change the order of the positional argument by the default value. So you can pass the argument in non-positional manner using keyword argument. In Python, the meaning of a keyword parameter is determined by the argument's name specified along with its value. This is in contrast to positional argument that I have already explained, where the meaning is determined by the argument position in the function call. So here this is the example where I have a function that is the name that is having name greet, and I am passing three value name, and we have a three argument name, age and city is equal to unknown. So city is the default argument where already I have set the default value unknown to the city. Now in the second case greet, I have passing the value alias to the name, 25 to the age, and Delhi is to the city, and the same name is the Bob, age is 30. Okay, this it will act as a default, and in the third case I have changed the order. Now age is coming first one, then name and the city. So we can see, so we are not getting any error, and you can see we are getting the wonderful output. Still we are changing the positional argument, still we are not passing the one argument because we have a default value. Is in that case also we are getting no error, and we are getting a good output, correct output. Now what is a recursion function? Recursion function, we all know, it should not be infinite. The term recursion can be defined as the process of defining some things in terms of itself. In some simple words, it is a process in which a function calls itself directly or indirectly, but it should not be infinite. So we have to break this calling of the function, that is calling itself by itself. So we, that condition where we are breaking that condition, it is called a base condition. So there are two conditions, one is called exit condition or base condition, where the function is breaks, function execution is break, and second is recursive condition where it is calling itself until the base condition comes. So here you can see I am how it is working. I am passing the, I have created the one function that is a count, and which type of function? It is a recursive function. So we have to mention two things, one is exit condition and second is a recursive function. So what is the exit condition? What I want, when the value is less than equal to 0, that function should stop the execution, and when it is not, it is a greater than 0, then it should call itself by the this execution count is equal to num minus 1. It is decreasing its value and it is printing its value as well till the base condition is come, when means when this number is less than 0, that base condition has come, and now this function will be stopped. So let's see. So you can see I had passed 6. Now it is checking if number is less than equal to 0. No. So it going in it is going into the next block. What it is saying, print num, so it is printing 6, and again it is decremented its value num minus 1, so is a 5. Again it is a checking num is less than equal to 0. No. Again it is coming in else block, printing 5, and again num minus 1, it is a 4. Again it is a checking less than equal to 0, and it is continuing till its value is less than 0. So when it is the value is less than 1, again it is continuing the checking num is equal to 0. Yes, and now it has stopped. So it is all about the recursion function, and again it is the recursion function where we are printing the Fibonacci series, and base condition is any number that is equal to or less than 1, the function will be stopped, otherwise it will be executing like this statement. Okay, and these are the function. Now, scope of variable. Scope of variable means if we are creating any function, then we have a block of that function. So, if we are creating any variable within that function, then that variable is known to the only that function. Outside of that function, that value is unknown to anyone. So, if I am seeing here, I have created one simple example where I am assigning x is equal to 10, def variable double a is equal to 11, and I am printing x and a, and then print a. So, what do you think here? If I am printing x comma a, so name a is undefined. Why? Because print var, okay, x is the global variable. So, this is a global variable, it is known to everyone. So, if I am as defining any function where a is the local variable, means out of this block, this a is unknown to anyone, okay, but this x is known to everyone. So, it is the global variable because it is defined outside of this scope, outside of this function. So, this is the, so when I am printing print x comma a, so x it will take the value of 10, and a, because it is the local variable, it will be printed as a 11. But outside of the function, if I am printing a, so this is a was the local variable of the function where, so it is creating an error and name a is not defined, because outside of the function this value is unknown, this value is not recognized. So, this a is called the local variable and this x is called global variable. But if I want that this a should be recognized outside of this scope, so what I have to do, I have to use the value global. So, you can see in this example x is equal to 10, it's okay, it is the global variable, defined variable, this is the function, and I have ax is equal to, I have defined it as a global. What does it means? Means this ax should be recognized by outside of this scope also. So, I am using this global. So, you can see now if I am printing print ax, so it should create an error. It should create an error because it is the local variable of this variable function. But no, it will not give an error because I have used global. By this global, this ax is recognized by the outside of the scope of this function. So, if I am running this program, you can see the output is 10, 11 and 11. It is not giving any error. So, what we have learned? We have learned about the type of the argument, what is the function and what are the type of the argument, that is a positional argument, default argument, keyword argument, and we have learned about the what is the global variable and what is the local variable. If we want to recognize the local variable outside of the variable, then we are using global keyword. So, now there is a one important function also, that is a lambda function. What is a lambda function? A lambda function is a small anonymous function. A lambda function can take any number of argument but can only have one expression. Means if we have a function, we have a code of one line, then we can use lambda function. See, it is a very good function that we can use anywhere where we have a small size of code, one line of code. So, here you can see x is equal to lambda a colon a plus 10. So, here in one line I have expressed the function a is equal to a plus 10 and x5. When I am passing the 5, you can see answer is the 15. Similarly, I am passing the 5 into 6 in the lambda function, and here you can see it will be multiplied 30, and again you can see how much variable I am passing, a, b, c. So, here there are 3 variable are defined a, b, c. So, I will have to pass 3 variable, that a5, 6, 2. And what I have to done with that variable? We need to define the expression also, statement also. So what we are doing? We are simply adding those number. So the value is 13. Similarly, here we are using two function. My function, it is not the assigning in my doubler. Here what is happening? The reference of my function 2 will also refer the my doubler. Means we have not two expression, two value. Actually one references is used by my doubler as well as my function 2. So here the answer will be 22. You can see it is the simple example where my function is simple, where we are returning the lambda function. What we are doing in lambda? In lambda, I am multiplying the two number a and n. So n I am getting from my function, and now when again I will call my doubler, so I am passing the value 11, that is the value of a. And now the a, now we have got the two value a and n, and now it will be multiplied, but we are using the same expression written lambda a multiplied by n. Okay, so it was all about the function, where we have learned about the important functions in Python. So thank you so much.